What's up? What's up? I want to tell a story about friendship. Um, One of my greatest lessons about friendship came from my uncle Perry, Uncle John Perry. And it began when I was in high school. When I was playing high school football, I had a certain support system that I could count on to pretty much be at every game. That was my daddy, my Uncle Perry, Chucky Mills, and Leroy Jones. And they would have my little brother with them. And that felt good when I looked up there and saw all them. And Leroy Jones and Chucky Mills, they was my Uncle Perry's best friend. And anytime you pretty much saw them, you saw all of them. So I was just amazed, like, man, my Uncle Perry friends always come show me some love. And, they was like, hey, man, and we love you, Trav. They treated me like a nephew. So, it just showed me something, and that was rare. I never saw three men that was so much in harmony like that in my life at this point. And at that time, and before then, anybody know, I cut hair when I was younger. So it was like every Saturday when I cut hair, those three men would come. And as a barber, that's what cultivated my way of thinking and so much. It's like I was sitting there with grown men and they would sit down and pretty much submit themselves to me, man, and close their eyes and just let their soul pour out to a 16, 17-year-old child, man, and just tell me all they frustrations of life, and I would feel it, man. You know what I mean? But these particular three men, they all had battled addiction, all had battled a lot of things in life that kind of, made them who they was at that moment, and who I was dealing with. But in all of their stories and all of their struggling, their friendship and each other was all like a therapy for each other. You know what I mean? If Uncle Perry got a new car, him and Chucky got a new car at the same time. They would wash their cars together. It was like they both had balances between their wives, but they wives and understood that they needed each other for strength. You know what I mean? So it was a beautiful type thing, man. And I would just talk to my Uncle Perry, and, he would always tell me stories about growing up, how they always stuck together, situations where they bailed each other out. And they grew up in Greertown, so this was like a real family-oriented history type of growing up. So, man, just me looking at it from that perspective and hearing it is like I always understood the sincerity of what it took to really be a friend or to call somebody a friend. You know what I mean? And, that was just a great example. And like Chucky and Leroy are dead, but my Uncle Perry's still here. And I remember at both of their funerals at the time of both of their deaths, it was like everybody knew that, that friendship and the empathy for Perry losing a friend was just like, it was something rare and beautiful, man. So, that's what created that standard in my mind, or that standard in my reality of friendship. And like, they dead and gone, but my Uncle Perry, every time I meet somebody that knows him, it's like they automatically just speak highly of him in a way to say, man, this a good dude, and he's a friend of a friend to everybody, man. And me and him, we talk on the phone for hours at times, man, just talking. And it's like I feel like I'm honored to somewhat get in that space of I know that Chucky was there, that Leroy was there, that his friend Booby, Turk, you know, all these childhood friends he tell me about. You know, sometimes me and him talk, and I know just I can feel that void in him to let him know, like, Unc, I know I'm your nephew, but you taught me what friendship is, so I'm honored to be in this position to talk to you as a friend just as much as a nephew, man. And we share some deep things with each other when we get in that zone. But it helped me and it made me understand, man, a lot about sincerity, you know, and sincerity is the foundation of any true man, true soul to soul type friendship, relationship, you know, sincere and being vulnerable, you know. And when I say vulnerable, like I say, um, as a barber, I've witnessed a lot of people's most vulnerable emotions. You know what I mean, man? Grown men that let it all go and just like, man, let it all go, man. So at a young age, I understood the value of that, man. And I understood my position as a barber. You know, as a barber, this kind of going left, but as a barber, you know, it's two type of people that a grown man will submit his whole self to. That's his doctor and that's his barber. You know, a grown man sit before me, let me grab the crown of his head and control him like a joystick. You know what I mean, man? Move, you know. So it's like with that, I understood the power and honor it had to be a barber. So I always, man, uh, I always say, you know, I cut hair from the inside and out, but I always gave that platform of sincerity, and I always made myself vulnerable to the situation and experience would be more than just a haircut. It would truly be like a therapy for both of us. You know what I mean? So to understand that, man, I kind of rambled on that, but to understand that and witness that throughout my life with my Uncle Perry and his friends and being that they gone, but to see the true man and friend that he still is that remain. And most people can value that and feel that and just like feel that void, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. So, you know, that's a story about friendship. I hope you got something out of it. If I had to say what it's about, man, vulnerability and sincerity is the foundation of friendship, relationship, and when it's sincere. You know what I mean? You know, I love you.